So we have understood, what exactly is MVC, right? We have understood what is Spring MVC, right? We have learned what is Spring MVC in the previous session. That it is a web-based framework which is used to design web applications, and it is based on MVC design pattern, model view controller design pattern, that we have learned. We have also seen, why we use Spring MVC, right? And we have talked about the features of Spring MVC, and we have talked about the architecture of Spring MVC, right? In this very session we will create a Spring MVC project, with Maven. Then we will create a similar Spring MVC project with Boot, Spring Boot, right? So let's start with creation of Spring MVC project with Maven. What is Maven? Maven is a build management tool, right? A popular build management tool. When we say a build management tool, meaning a war file will be created by Maven, and we will use a particular plugin which is provided to us by Maven only, right? By Tomcat 7 or Tomcat 9, that will deploy the war file for us, so that difficulty of war creation or that difficulty of war deployment will be taken by Maven. All we need to do is we need to tell Maven that these are the APIs that we are interested in. These are the class files. Basically, class resides in jar file, so we will mention the jar files that we need. We will tell this to Maven, right? And Maven says, you tell me via pom.xml, project object model.xml, right? And we will deploy the same for you, right? Thereafter you can use the same classes in your project, right? So we have learned what is Spring MVC, why Spring MVC, features of Spring MVC, architecture of Spring MVC. This is also very important to run a basic Spring MVC based project in which I will use JPA REST. In the next session we will convert a same project into Boot. It is very vital that we should be able to create, right, a basic MVC project and execute it, right? So in this very session we'll do that. Then we will run it, right? When you do the application in local, you always run it on your local host, right? Port number will be of your choice, right? I may choose, let's say 703 24 port number. Then comes the name of a project, and then comes the controller name. We will also adopt a similar kind of methodology, right? So let's start. Now once you have to create a similar kind of project, so you need two things. One, you will be needing a IntelliJ IDEA, that IDE. IDE is integrated development environment, right? If I say free download IntelliJ IDEA, it will take you to a URL where you can download this community edition, this free edition, or if you have a paid edition, right, from your company, you can use that also, right? Whichever. If you don't have a paid edition, then you can use community edition. It helps us create projects, Maven based projects. That is what we require. Just download it, recognizes that I am working this, I have opened this URL in Windows, so it opened this exe file thing for me. If I would have opened this in Mac, it would have given me a DMG file. Similarly in Solaris, I would have got a tar file or a gunzip file there, right? So that is what we need. And when you get to see that, it looks like this. It looks like this basic IDE. This is the IDE for for IntelliJ IDEA, And once, right now we don't need MySQL developer, right now we don't need uh, you know the database source, right? Because I will do everything as part of right now IntelliJ IDEA only. But in the next session, when we need to convert this, when we need to convert a same Maven based project to Spring Boot based project, you will need this also, MySQL, right? This is again a database that you need. Otherwise, in the next session our application will not work, because we'll be using Spring Boot and Spring JPA, right? I can download that. Once you download this, you'll get you'll get this, right? You'll get MySQL in your local, and then I'll tell you how to create a database, how to create tables, how to create record in the tables. So after you install MySQL, you will also get a workbench. We are also interested in this workbench, right? Once you download this, you need to make sure that you use a correct URL, which we will tell you in the next session. You use a correct port number, you could use the correct username, and you mention the correct password to connect to the database, because same configuration we will have to put as part of application properties file, which Spring Boot needs, not right now. Right now it doesn't need that, right? So make sure you have both these exes with you in your local. Otherwise, because right now we'll create a project in Maven, then we will create a similar project in Spring Boot, and thereafter we will learn every concept as part of a Spring Boot project only. MVC will work as part of boot, JPA concepts, REST, security, microservices, AOP, all concepts will work as part of a Spring Boot project only. So make sure you have both IntelliJ IDEA, right, which is a IDE, integrated development environment, and you have got MySQL community version database, right? We have got all jar files. I'll show you how to get all jar files. And make sure you remember the port number, you remember the IP hostname, you remember the username, and you remember the password, right? Because your application will connect to your database, right? So just make sure that you have both this in your local. Now let's start, right? So we were about to start a Spring MVC based project, right, wherein we will use Maven. So forget everything else over here. You always need to go to File, New Project, right? This is how we start. Maven is selected on the right hand side, right? And then I am getting these options, archetypes. In Maven terminology, these are kind of prototypes that are created for you. Just use one of them and a basic layout for your project will be created. Right now we need to use web app, right? Right now we are going to create a web application, so I need a web app. Now always select Maven hyphen archetype hyphen web app, right? I was interested in Maven archetype web app, right? Or I could have selected org Apache Maven archetypes, and I was interested in this one, Maven archetype web app. So it will give me a basic layout on top of which I can create my project, right? I said next. Now is the time to give a name of a project. We are going to convert, or we are going to create a Spring project, right? Or we are going to create a web project, right? And we are creating a web project with the help of Maven. and every API will be used by Spring only, right? So this is the name of a project. Thereafter, every organization has got a domain name, group ID. You can use Spring examples, right? Like every Spring based API resides in ORG Spring Framework. After that, the name of a API comes. Every Tomcat based API resides in ORG Apache Tomcat, right? That that is what is there with Tomcat. But here we are concerned about our project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say just let's com dot spring MVC. This is going to be a domain name, so I don't want to make a tough domain name. Let's make it a simple com.test, and this is the name of a project. This is the version. Later on in this very project, if I want to make a new version, I can make a new version also, right? So if I say next, right, this is the group ID that I have chosen, this is the project that I have chosen, this is the version that I have chosen, this is the archetype that we have chosen. Why? To get a basic layout. You will have a repository in this location always and every time. You will have a settings.xml in this location, M2 repository. Since this is my local, so it shows me my location. Otherwise, if I just on the start, if I just say right click and if I just go to run, right, if I would have mentioned run, if I say .m2, it will take me to the same M2 repository where all my jar file resides, right? This is my local. Similar to that, these are my jar files which POM has downloaded in my local, and POM uses settings.xml. So the moment I say finish, it asks me a basic question. Do you want to open a project in the same window or you want to use a new window? I said new window. So it will take a minute to set up the project for me. Project name is Web Project with Maven Spring. Right now, if I click project on the left hand side, right now POM is empty. It is taking a little while to set up the POM and set up the entire folder structure for me. And I will be using this Maven tool to do the deployment and to do the war creation. Right now we are not going to use Spring Boot. Right now we are talking simple Maven project. Many companies uses simple Maven project also, right? So this is our project. To clean and install Maven, these tools are also there, right? Now let's wait for a minute so that this environment set up the project for us. In the meantime, we can talk about the folder structure that should be there in your project. See, always remember, src main has your code, src main java has all java code, src main resources has got all resources code, and you have got web app. Web app should have WebINF. WebINF can have JSP, and that is where your .jsp resides, right? This is the folder structure that every Maven based project demands. It has to have this. The artifact ID that we have given, a similar project structure, similar package will be created for us. Resources will have images and the CSS that my JSP needs. Point is, if I am talking about a Maven project, and in the next session we will convert a same project and we will give the entire responsibility of war creation and war deployment to Spring Boot. Spring Boot makes your development and deployment tasks so easy, you don't have to worry about anything. That we'll talk next. But every project needs src main java, src main resources, web app. And remember, till the next session starts, please download MySQL Developer also. you'll need the database to create a database to set up tables, right? So this is the project that we asked to create, web project with Maven Spring. Right now I only have web app, but I did not have Java and Java and resources. So I can create under src main. If I right click new directory, see this Java option is available for me. I double clicked it and the option is given to me. Again src main directory, resources option is given to me. I double clicked it and it is given to me. In this Java I will create a package, the same group ID, that is the name of a project, that is my domain right now, right? Under this my class files will go. Web app has got WebINF, and WebINF does not have anything, so I can, let's say, create JSP folder for placing all JSP files. Right now index.jsp is given to me with the default hello world message, right? We are going to create our own website, so I deleted this index.jsp, and a default web.xml is also given to me. We don't need that also. We will create our own configuration, right? So I have an empty project, src main Java package, resources is empty, web app WebINF JSP. See, it is always better to mark source, this Java as generate sources root. So right click, mark directory as generate sources root, and you see the sign comes. Now Java files will go here. It is already marked as resources, so these 4 orange lines shows that this is going to contain images and JavaScript, right? Now I have given you also in download code folder, right? What I'm going to pull, I'm going to pull the images and the JSP file. So this is the CSS and the images. I just copied it, I come to my project and I pasted in the resources, right? These are the images, these are the images that my index.jsp needs, and this is the cascading style sheet, the presentation part that again my index.jsp needs. So I pasted them over here, and I have got the CSS and I have got the images that my JSP will need. I can go and pull the JSP also. Right now we are going to create an end-to-end project, but at least we should have something to show. I copied this, right? I copied this and I come to my project and I pasted it over here. This is the JSP that we will show to the end user when the user clicks the home page, right? You also have this through the download code. Now basic layout is set up, but apart from that I did not set up anything. Right? See, to start a basic Spring MVC or any web-based project, we are talking about any web-based project, I need 3 things. I need the entire configuration, right? How will I want the dispatcher servlet to use the resource handlers, right? And the view resolvers, like we discussed in the previous session, right? But application configs comes later. There is something called as application initializer that we need, to which I will tell this is the application config file, please use that. And we will create one home controller whose job is to show .jsp back to the user. So in nutshell, I am going to create 3 APIs: application initializer, application config, and home controller. This is going to be an end-to-end configuration file. or this is going to be a replacement of web.xml. Web.xml is also known as deployment descriptor, right? Right. Now let's start with application initializer. What are we going to tell? We are going to create an application context object. Remember, the first thing that we do, creation of context object. Second, we tell context object this is the config file. Third, there is a dispatcher servlet. We need to tell the context. Please go ahead and create that. Fourth, you are the first servlet to be created. Fifth, and the last point, that anything that comes after slash, you are going to take care of that. Let's create one. This is our project. Package is already created. Under package, I am going to create a class. What is going to be the class? Application initializer. Application initializer. This is a class. Class option is already chosen. Right? Now I need to make sure that I extend the correct API. Right? Just that in this very case, I have to implement one interface called as web application initializer. Right? You see, I don't have that option. I don't have that option because as part of pom.xml, I did not tell what I need for my project. Right? I need total 5 things in my project. Right? To create 3 classes, I need total 5 things. I need Spring Web. I need Spring Web MVC. I need Servlet. I need JSP, and I need JSTL. Right? So I will add 5 jar files, and I will tell how the deployment will happen. This is just one-time learning that you need to have. Right? Again, I will be needing Spring Web, Spring Web MVC, JSTL, Servlet, JSP. Now my project is running on Java 1.8 and I have that in my local. So I just change 1.7 to 1.8. Right? I can have this JUnit dependency or I can ignore this. Point is, I am interested in, right? We are interested in the Spring based, right now, jar files. So first one comes from every Spring framework based jar file will come from org Spring framework, and we are concerned about Spring Web first. There is a version associated with this. Version is 5.1.9 release. This is one dependency that you need. Second, I just copied it and pasted it. Second is Spring Web MVC. Annotations come from Web MVC. Version is the same. I don't have to do anything of this sort in the Spring Boot project. Everything will be managed by Spring Boot. But since I am working on a Maven based project, I have to worry about all this. Then I am concerned about Servlet, JSP and JSTL. Now Servlet based jar files comes from JavaX Servlet. These are Java related APIs, and we are concerned about Servlet based. So API name is JavaX Servlet -API. You can use 3.0 version, you can use 3.1 version, your choice. I am using 3.1 version. Spring Web gives you class files and Spring Web MVC gives you annotation. That is how Spring has given to us. We have to follow their rules. Right? Again, Web gives you APIs, Web MVC gives you annotations, and I'll show you that I need annotations. Fourth jar file, JSP. Right? JSP. Version number 2.3.2. Right? B02. This is the version number for JSP. One last dependency, and that is JSTL. JSTL also comes from JavaX Servlet. JSTL stands for Java Server Page Standard Tag Library. Tag library includes core functions. We will be using that in the coming project also, in the coming classes also. Version is 1.2 and your index.jsp is also using that. So these are the 5 APIs, jar files that you need. Who will download it for you? Maven will download it for you. Only thing you have to mention over here is enable auto import. Rest you can see in the end. Your IntelliJ IDEA has started downloading it for you. Now it says just remove plugin management. We use plugin management when we say these are the versions that you have to use. We fix things for POM. We are not fixing things for POM, right? I need to create var and I need to deploy var. I can remove this clean plugin, right? I can remove this resources compiler, right? I just need this var plugin and the other plugin that I want is not there. Var will be created by this plugin, but who will do the development for us? Deployment for us. I will need a plugin. The plugin should have a group ID. Group ID is org Apache Maven Tomcat. Remember, this is the group ID for web app artifact ID that we are using. Same is the in the artifact ID I will use Tomcat 7 version, right? Maven plugin. Once I mention this to POM will download it for us and it will automatically deploy the application for us. It has its own version 2.2. Now my application will work on a particular port number, right? As I said, I can decide my port on which my application will work. So we are using a port called let's say called 7021, right? So group ID org Apache Maven Tomcat, artifact ID Tomcat 7 Maven plugin, version is this. I clicked on auto import little later, that is why it is taking all the processes. You can see in the end processes are running, right? So once the jar files comes, we'll start with application initializer. The first one that we need is web application initializer. I'll come to that. Let's wait for a minute and let's let IntelliJ IDEA download all the IDEs, right? So plugins are Spring Maven var plugin is there. 3.2.2 could be used. I just saved this POM. Dependencies are added. Var will be created for my project. This is the group ID, right? org Apache Tomcat, org Apache Tomcat Maven, right? Tomcat 7 Maven plugin version 2.2. Tomcat 7 Maven plugin version 2.2, right? It has downloaded everything. Coming back to our first API where we will be creating the application context object. So I was saying that we need to implement one interface called web application initializer, right? Web application initializer. POM has downloaded Spring Web and WebMVC org Spring framework, right? This I was talking about application initializer implements web application initializer is the name of an interface that we need. I said alt enter, now it has given to me. right? It has one method called on startup. See, the best part about IntelliJ IDEA is just mention what you need and every basic layout will be given to you. First thing, application context, right? We are concerned about, see, this application context object will be retrieved via annotation config, right? Annotation config application context, annotation config web application context, annotation config web application context. I actually modified POM little later, right? That is the reason. So when I say alt enter, you know, API comes. So this object we were talking about, right? This is the context object. Right now, why annotation config? Because this is a Java configuration project. So we need to register. What are we registering? The second class that I'm going to create, that is application config, which will be, right now I have not created it, I will create, which will have the entire workflow for my application. Third thing, mentioning the dispatcher servlet. How do we do that? It has just one process, always and every time. I'm going to use servlet registration, right? Servlet registration dot dynamic object name. I am creating an object name called servlet registration. Now I have got one object with on startup method, which is called servlet context. One context for all servlet. I'm going to add one servlet. I'm going to name one servlet of my choice. And what this servlet is all about? Dispatcher servlet. Dispatcher servlet is going to manage what? Application context, this object, right? Now this servlet context, servlet registration that we have created, via set load on startup, we have mentioned that this is the first servlet to be loaded. And then I have told servlet registration, you are going to handle all mappings that comes after slash. That is the job of application initializer. I created one context object which will manage, which will do inversion of control and dependency injection. Entire configuration will reside here, right? Servlet registration is via, you mentioned dispatcher servlet. You can give choice of your name. I could have written XYZ, PQR, MNO, whatever. This is the first servlet to load when the application comes. Everything that after forward slash will be taken care by this. I copied this. I come and I create my next class, which is a configuration class. I can give a name called application config. This is also a class file. Now this is a Java configuration class file. I used configuration annotation on top. Now what am I going to do? Resource handler, view resolver, right? First of all, this configuration annotation. Then I need to tell, you know, you can look out for all controllers where in com.test package. I need two methods. Those methods resides in this API, web MVC configuration support. First method is resource handlers, right? I removed that line which I have already got because I need to tell where to look out for images and CSS. So I'm using this registry object that I have got as part of method parameter. I'm going to call this method called resource handler. I'm interested in the CSS that I have given to resources, and I'm interested in the images that I have given to resources because my JSP needs both of them. Now where do they reside? They actually reside in the class path. What do I mean that they reside in the class path? See, anything that comes under src main, that comes under class path, right? So via add resource location, I can say your CSS and your images resides in the class path. Anything that comes under src main, you know, that comes under class path, right? This is how our project pull up things. Don't forget to add slashes right? This is how you have helped your dispatcher servlet to pull the CSS and the images. Now I need to create one bean. Object will be created by application context. Alt enter, and this is added. I told you view resolver, public, return type is internal, return type is internal resource view resolver, right? And object name will be given, created with the name JSP view resolver. Let's say, when you mention bean, object will be created by inversion of control feature, that is by application context, annotation config, web application context. What will I start with? Internal resource view resolver, because that is what is the return type. So this object we created, right? What this object is going to do, it is going to tell the controller, you have given me the name of a JSP, but where shall I find the JSP? In the web-inf and the JSP folder, right? Same thing, you have given me the name of JSP, but I need to suffix it with .jsp. Last thing, who will compile your JSP? This will be rendered by a view class. What is the name of a view class? JSTL, for which we have added the JSTL feature as part of POM. Ultimately I need to return this object back, because that is a return type of a method, and this bean will be available during the entire lifetime of a project. Configuration is all ready. It will look out for controllers via component scan annotation, for which we have used Spring Web MVC. Let's create one small controller. What will it do? When you click home on the URL, it will show you index.jsp. So I said, please create a class called home controller for me, right? What will I tell on top? This is a controller. Why? Because when I mention controller, component scan will find it. Who will help it? Annotation config. What is this feature called? Dependency injection, right? Override feature, yes, it comes in Java. That is when you override a method from parent to child, right? Now what shall I do as part of a controller? As part of a controller, I'm going to simply say, you will give me a call from a URL. Let's say this is a URL pattern that you will invoke. I can create a method for you. What this method is going to return? A simple name of a JSP, right? So I can create a method called go to home page, right? And as part of this method, I'm going to simply return index. That is what resides in web-inf JSP folder. I can write one statement for me that I have successfully reached in the home controller class. Once my project runs, it will load there, right? I have completed my basic project. Application initializer will create an application context object. They will attach application config to it. We have mentioned that dispatcher servlet will be needing it, right? This will be the first servlet to load. Anything that after / will come will be taken care by dispatcher servlet. We have mentioned that this is how you will pull the CSS and the images. This is how you will pull the JSP to show it as part of home page, right? Now comes to run this project. To run this project, I'll go to Maven, right? Plugins. We have specially added Tomcat 7. I will simply say run war. Now war file will be created, URL will be given to me, project will be deployed automatically. Everything will be done by this small plugin called run war, right? I'll just have to wait, right? So again, how did we start? We said we are going to use Spring MVC features with Maven. Why Maven? Right now I have to mention that I am using Spring MVC, Spring Web MVC, right? We used JavaX Servlet, Servlet, JSTL, JSP, and their versions we mentioned, right? Because I'm using dispatcher servlet, I'm using index.jsp, and I'm using JSTL to compile my JSP. Once we'll convert a similar project with Spring Boot, we'll not be needing all that. Right? We created application initializer, we created application config, and we created one home controller class. This will help you create your own project. Right? You see, project is created, URL is being given to you. You can refer this once you run this code. It has created a WAR file for you. What will I need to do to run this project? Remember 7021, that is the port that we gave as part of pom.xml. Right? Same 7021 port is chosen. I just copied this URL. I will go to my browser. Right? And I will mention this is the right. I just copied this. I come over here and I said look out for this URL pattern. The moment I say home, it shall show me the index page that I have placed in WebINF JSP folder. Right? This is the kind of sports application that we have created. We will show you how to log in, how to search in the database, how to go to external websites, right, as part of this very website, how Spanish languages can be written down, how presentation can be changed completely. Right? So what have we done? We created one basic Spring MVC project. Remember, view, request, dispatcher servlet, resource handler, controller taking help of view resolver, showing it back on the view. That entire architecture we just now saw. Right? And the same architecture we established. We created an initializer class. Right? On startup method, annotation config web application context object, register method, creation of dispatcher servlet, load on startup one. Then we created application config. We mentioned that this is how you will pull the CSS and the images. This is how you will resolve the JSP, and we created one controller. We will create multiple controllers as part of our course. This is just to give you the idea that you can also create a basic project of your own. Later on, you can add multiple things as part of your project. Right? Thank you. So, what is bean annotation doing there? Bean annotation just, object is being created by application context, and that object will reside with you during the entire lifetime. View resolver will be needed always and every time. That is what view resolver does. Right? Thank you.